tonight is more on toxic relationships and the early signs. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more. Yeah. So anyway, I started doing these videos. I'm just doing them here and there because, I like having a positive channel and I'm into exercise and lovely scenery and cute cats. But this is a part of my life also, and I just thought that it might help somebody out there so they don't make the same mistakes, because I wish somebody had told me these things, or I wish then I knew these things. Okay, so in a moment I'm going to share that with you. Alright, so as I said in the other video, I just touched on there were some early signs. So they establish a connection with you very quickly, very soon, very early. And they would say things like, tell you you're their soulmate, or you were always meant to be together. They have that feeling that they know you're always meant to be, and they never met anyone like you, and you're just the most amazing thing they ever met in their whole entire life. Things along that line. I mean, come on, it's going to make anyone feel good, make you feel special. And nobody would ever think that that would be fake. Somebody would just say that if it weren't true, but they do. I know I would never say anything like that to anybody if it weren't true. It's fake, it's phony, it's lying. Okay, but they do that. Now let me tell you why toxic people, like, you wonder why somebody would be like that and do that. Toxic people have to be with someone in a relationship. They're so toxic that they want to spew their toxicity on somebody, and it typically is someone close to them. I mean, you can try to spew it on people on the street, but you're never going to see them again. So it's somebody they can constantly be at. Could be a family member, a good friend, those sort of things, or a coworker you're always with. So they actually get pleasure out of it because they're very, within themselves, very angry, very jealous, very envious kind of a person, and they just get off on putting people down and trying to control you, and take like that light that shines in you. They want to dim your light, because really that's what they are. Honestly, I mean, I've done a lot of research on it this past couple years, trying to figure everything out. I'm talking those kind of people, they don't have a light. They're like dim. And so they're going to choose someone that has a bright light, or that they see that's upbeat, and they want to take that from them. I know, it's really hard to believe. I mean, when I first learned about this, it was hard to believe. But now it's not, because I've known about this now for a while. I just think it's very important for people to know that, so you don't end up with someone like that, like I did so many times, and they were all so different. I know, it's a shame. So they will talk the future with you, and most chicks like that. It makes you feel special. So they'll be talking about, oh, when we do this and when we do that, and again, you've met their family, and it's all moving forward. You're the girlfriend. I never lived with anyone. Just, I got married and then I'd live with them, but I never lived with anyone. So they would just like be my boyfriend, okay, kind of thing. So even though I may have not been into living with anyone as a boyfriend, what I'm trying to say is, if they know that you might like that, then they would probably suggest it, like, hey, let's get a place together. Okay, and a lot of people like that, so then there you are. So they can do that, but pretty much what they're going to do is whatever they know you are, whatever your deal is, that's what they'll be. So if you were someone that doesn't want to live with somebody, you like your own space, you don't want to live with somebody, or until you're married, then you do live with the person, then they won't do that. They won't push that, okay? But if they know you like that, then they'll go with that. So they're going to be whatever they think you want them to be, because they're not authentic and they're not real. I know, it's hard to believe. I always keep saying that. So, as I said, I had many different relationships, and I had to leave all these different people. But that's not a good thing. I was never happy about leaving anyone, because nobody gets into a relationship, a love relationship, to leave them. Nobody does that. You want to stay in them. You want them to be successful. So, but, once I learned, or as the relationship progressed and it got toxic, I had to get out of that. Unfortunately, the thing that I did wrong, and this is where I'm trying to help you, is I would break up with them very early. Like say 9 months or something, usually 9 months, in around that time frame. For a lot of, now we're not talking marriage, but a lot of the longer term relationships, I would break up, but then they'd reel me back in and I'd give them a chance. And so then it would go on to many different breakups, over the course of like a 3-year or 4-year relationship. That's a waste of time. A waste of time on something that's not real, and it's not authentic, and they're not for your good. It's just stressful. Very stressful. So, that's where I made my mistake, is letting them reel me back in. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. So, let me go back and let me touch on one of the relationships. This one, we'll start with this one. So let's say this one was after my first marriage. And I'll just mention, I won't get into the first marriage, it was not good. But I will say I left that marriage after 4.5 years. And I had planned my way out of there. I'll say this, it was not physically abusive, but he was very verbally, mentally, emotionally, and it would have eventually escalated to that. And, I had to leave my own house. And most women don't want to leave their house. I'm the one, I had to leave to get away from him. And I went and I had to go move in with my mother and live at her place. And my father had passed away like shortly before that. So that was good timing as far as that went, give her some company. But, so right now, let's get on to the relationship after that. I don't know, it probably was, several months after that, not long enough. Remember I said in the other video, you need a long time to be by yourself. Several months, and I had a cousin who wanted to fix me up with someone. And at the moment, I thought, well, maybe that's a good idea. I'll let someone else fix me up. Like, I'm not choosing the person, because I don't feel this way now, but I felt at the time that obviously I wasn't making good choices. So that's why at that moment I thought that was a good idea. So she fixed me up with this guy, and she thought we would have similar interests as far as working out, which we did, and as far as our faith system, everybody's got like whatever their belief system is, and if that's important to you. So, and that is, but he was fake. I mean, I didn't know that at the time, but he was fake. It was all fake. So, but anyway, so she hooked me up on that. It was a blind date, and I will say I was not attracted to him physically. I was like, oh my gosh. But as the date or whatever, as it went on, he had a very nice smile, and he really treated me very nicely on that date. So I thought, okay, I gave him another chance, and because he was so nice to me and it was so gentlemanly, and I'll see if I feel any differently. So then when I went on the second date, I did feel differently. I felt more attracted to him. You have to be attracted to somebody. And it was just how he acted, his mannerisms, his smile, and so forth. And I became attracted to him. So I'll share a little bit more briefly on that story to try to help you see some things for yourself. So he was highly romantic and over the top. So that's another sign for you to look for. And what I mean by that is he got me a dozen roses every week for the longest time. So, I'd get a dozen red roses, and I lived at my mom's then, so sent to the house. And then the following week, I'd get another dozen of another color. After that, another dozen. Like every week, I got a dozen roses. Now, I'll admit, I loved it. I thought that was cool. I thought that was great. But it's not normal. It's just not. I wish it were, but it's not normal. It's not normal. So now I wouldn't like that. And back then, at that time, I actually was reading a book, and it said that in the book. Now, it didn't say all these other things I'm telling you, because they don't probably know all that yet. But it did say, beware of overly ardent, romantic men, or women for that matter, for you guys out there. It's like over the top. And he was over the top. And I remember reading that then in the book, but I didn't know enough yet. And I liked it at the time. I thought it was really great. So that one particular thing it said, I just didn't believe it then, but it is true. Yeah. Because what it is, guys are romantic, and guys, I'm not saying you're not, you are, but you're not made the way we are, so you can't expect a guy to be like a female like that. And when a guy is over the top like that, it's fake. It's just a ploy. It is. It's a ploy. It's not normal. Normal, good guy is not going to do that. He'll do nice things for you. I'm not saying that, but he's not going to be like that over the top. So anyway, he got me these dozen roses all the time, and then he'd come for a date and bring like a teddy bear with a little love note card. I mean, it was over the top. He was just trying to manipulate me. That's what that was, manipulation. And it worked. It worked. Because, he really got me to like him. And then later fall in love with him. All right? Now, the other thing he did, and at the time I liked it, is future faking. It's called future faking. I didn't know it was future faking. And sometimes they will marry you, but it's still, they're toxic. But, so I think because I was married, I had been married, and it was just 4.5 years. I was already used to that lifestyle, okay? And I had to leave a married lifestyle, and I really didn't want to, but it was what I needed to do. So, he was very early. I'm gonna say, I don't know, first month, talking about, well, when we get married this, it said they move fast. When we get married that, and even though in my mind I wouldn't have married him anytime soon because I wouldn't have been near ready for that, I liked that he talked that way. That made me feel good about us, and it. I liked knowing that he thought of me in that way. It's a chick thing, and I liked that. If somebody did that now, I wouldn't like that, because I would know there's something up. This is not normal, okay? I mean, it has to gently unfold gradually. But anyway, so he was always saying, we get married this, and he went and he built a house. At the same time, he was building a house. Actually, he lived locally because he worked at this post office, but he was a little bit of a distance away. So he actually sold his house and wanted to be closer to where I was. And he was just, the kind of guy he wasn't going to go live in an apartment. He was just going to go get another house, but he had to build one. He built one. So he's having this house built. So when we were going together, he was having this house built, and he'd have me involved in all the plans. Like, he'd be saying, well, this is going to be our house when we get married, and, Anyway, I thought it were cool, but it's probably because I had already been married, and it was the thought of it. But yeah, in my head, I knew I wasn't marrying him anytime soon, and I knew that. So anyway, I was going to take my time with that. And so anyway, he did that, and so that relationship went smooth for 9 months. However, I'm going to say this. When you look back, I do believe that all toxic people, I believe there will be something that they will do, but it's going to be so minor and so small that it'll be something that in their behavior will do that will, to yourself, in your head, you'll question it. You'll be like, I wonder why they did that in your mind. And it might be like, I'll look back for me, it might be like a gut feeling. You have this gut. Your gut's telling you that's not good. I mean, look, it's something very small, but we have a habit as people sometimes, especially when you want to see good in people, to say, nah, I was wrong, that couldn't be right, or I must have misjudged, or you do that. Now, I would not do that now, because when I look back at all my relationships and the things I know now and I've learned and researched, your gut will tell you something early, and you have to listen to it. So in other words, when you get a gut, and it'll tell you very early, I mean, I believe it will be early. I don't believe it will take months and months to get a gut. I'd say it could take a few weeks, maybe, it's possible, but I don't believe it will be months and months to get a gut. Have a gut moment, like, yeah, something's not right, okay? And I think that I have another book that I read and things I read. It's your internal system letting you know. Because look at it like this. All animals, species have it. They have they sense danger. Look, I've got cats, and they hear a loud noise outside, and they're freaked out. It's a sense of danger, like that loud noise to them, or whatever it is. And they act on it. Animals act on their senses. So if you have a pet, hears a thunderstorm, and gets fearful, goes under the bed or whatever, they're acting on their natural God-given sense. All right? So, we have it too. We have it. But we cut it off and we try to reasoning and make it logical, especially if you have no concrete evidence, but it is a real thing. And ever since I learned that, I use my gut for everything. If you ever watch any of my other videos, when I'm doing scenery videos, and I have my mace and my stun gun with me, I go by my gut. I go by my gut, and I trust it, and I use it when I'm out and about. If I go somewhere and I get a bad gut, I'll leave where I am. I'll do whatever I can to get away, because you don't get that for no reason. You can protect yourself out in the world by that. Trust your gut. I'll have to share a book with you sometime on that. Very important. I should read some passages out of that book sometime. So anyway, he did do something early on where I felt a gut. And but it wasn't until 9 months that he let loose. I don't even know if I could share that, but he let loose, and I saw a side of him. We actually went on a vacation after 9 months. It was the worst vacation I ever had, ever. By the way, toxic people ruin vacations, just so you know that. They'll ruin, except if you had, like the one person toxic that left me in 9 or 10 months and did it in a text. We went to the shore in a month. In that case, they don't ruin it. They're in their love bombing stage, so it's too early. So, but anyway, yeah, that vacation, it was bad. So again, back to, and let me finish this video on this. So my mistake, and that I would tell you, is after 9 months, he did this totally flip me out of character thing. I was, maybe I'll say it sometime on a video, it was a behavior on this vacation, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. Stunned, shocked. I was crying. It was terrible. I was so upset. We were on this vacation, and I was crying, and I just couldn't believe it. It was just his behavior and how he treated me. It was like nothing like he had treated me for 9 months. So imagine that, and then that happened. So anyway, I'm not getting into details now, but when I got home, I had it in my head, I'm done with this guy after that stunt he pulled, okay? And I did do it. I broke up with him. Here's the stupid thing I did. So stupid, and I would tell you, don't do it. So that was in 9 months. I ended up being in a relationship with the guy for 3 years and broke up like, I don't know, till it was done 4 times. 3, and then totally finished on the 4th time. Why do you want to do that? I didn't even want to do that. So I'm going to end this video on telling you what was a trap for me, and don't let it be a trap for you. And it was a trap in all my relationships, but it won't be a trap anymore. It's not a trap now. So, broke up with the guy, and up to me when I would do that, and this was to anybody, when they would do that and I'd break up, I know for a fact me, I'd be upset, of course, yeah. I broke up with the guy you thought was great, you know, and cry my eyes out, but I would never call that person ever again. And once I would make my mind up for that. Where I got weak and would go back is because after I would break up, he manipulated me. No, I won't be manipulated now. With God's help above, and what I know will not be manipulated. So what he did was outside, and by then, at that time, after like close to 9 months, then I moved from my mother's house to an apartment. And outside my apartment door, he had a brand new kitchen chair, because I did need a new kitchen chair, you know, for the apartment. I only had one, and I needed another one. He bought the chair, the matched chair, beautiful, good chair, and then he had on flowers and a teddy bear stuffed animal and a love CD and a mushy card, and I'm so sorry, you know, and this guy even said, you don't believe this one, this guy even said, I just thought of this, even said, I'll go to counseling. He said he'd go to counseling, because I was going to a counselor here and there after I got out of that, if I got out of that marriage that I was in, that was, you know, very toxic. I got out of it, and I went to counseling. So he said he'd go to a counselor. That was a trap. That was one trap. Now, not everyone else said that, but sometimes they'll do that. And you have to think, what guy would go to a counselor unless they really were going to work on themselves? He pulled that one on me. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'll jump ahead. So we were going to my counselor and had counseling sessions. And he even was playing her. I don't believe she knew it. But in the end, I'm looking back now, as time went on, he actually tried to get me to stop going to her. He started bad-mouthing her and tried to make me doubt the kind of counselor she was. She was a good woman, she really was. She was a Christian counselor that I wanted to go to, and she was a good woman, and she was a good woman. And he started saying stuff like, she's not really on your side, and all she wants is your money. That's what she does for a living. That's like me being a personal trainer that I do, and hairdressing. It's what you love to do, but that's what you're making a living at. You get paid for it. So he was saying about her, well, that's all, she just wants your money, and she gets to go on cruises all the time. He was like bad-mouthing her because she had got to go on cruises. It's because he was jealous. But anyway, I did catch that, and I never stopped going to her, but he stopped. And then, of course, the relationship still went on for 3 years. But he even tried that. He tried to get me to stop, and I didn't. I didn't stop. But anyway, I don't want to get all the little toxic things along the way. But each time out of the 3, I would break up, and he manipulated me with presents, also love things that he would change, it would be different, and also guilt. He used guilt to make me feel bad for breaking up with him. And that's a tool that toxic people will use on you. And if you're any kind of a good-hearted person, which I am, and I'm sure you are, they know that, and they will play on that guilt to manipulate you. But, I know now that no manipulation there. There's nothing to feel guilty about. You see they're toxic, out of there. I don't need to say any more when they exhibit that. And by the way, let me add to this. This is women doing it to guys too. This all applies to guys and women doing it too. We're not talking about normal problems that normal relationships have. Disagreement or normal. We're talking about toxic, manipulative, abusive, emotionally abusive, putting you down. No good, decent person does that. I've never done that. I've never in a relationship talked down to any guy I was with, criticized him. If I would criticize over 3-4 years, it would always, I didn't criticize. If it would be something, it would always be careful on how you said it, so as not to hurt the person. There's a right and a wrong way to say and do things. But they don't play by those rules, so you could try to do that yourself, but they won't do it. They're really into their toxic mess, So anyway, I'm going to have to end this video here. Keep all this stuff in mind. And I'll have to do more because there's a little bit more to tell you, but don't take them back.